What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Truth, and that's short for Truth Over Narrative. Today we got another special guest with us. We got a welterweight contender, 22-3. We got Mr. Mykal, the Professor Fox. What's going on, Fox?
What's good? What's good with you, man? How you
What's
been?
going on, man? What's going on? Hey, I feel like this one is a long time coming, man. A long time coming.
Yeah. I've been waiting. I thought, man, I know he come to my gym. I know he gonna call me. I know he gonna let me on that gym.
Nah, facts, man. But so let's start it off. Hey, first I want you to take me back to before August 7th. I know you wasn't originally opponent on the card. So how did you even get to the point to be on that card?
All right. So I back in what by the end of June, I was coming back from camp with Javante Davis. He was getting ready for Barrios. He had won. I went to Minnesota. My brother had fought. I come back, in the gym and everything, right back to work like I normally do. And maybe a week or so later, my advisor called me. He's like, let me say, originally we were trying to get on the card, that August 7th card. We were trying to get on there in the main event. We agreed to fight Stayonis. The 18 said no,
Mm.
and then my advisor was like, he said, man, I would just get on the card as a backup. I'm like, okay, like, I mean, who's a backup for? He said, well, I mean, he said, yeah, I just tell him, I mean, just be a backup for any of them. Yeah, at first I was a little annoyed about that, like, so I gotta get ready for like six people. You know what I mean? Then he broke some stuff down, explained some stuff to me, like, yeah, this guy's my guy, and then these two guys. The way he broke it down,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'll do it, forget it. And then so I'm training. About 11 days out, I'm actually about to finish up sparring for the date. I'm like, yeah, I said, yeah, I'm gonna probably let the body heal and whatever that everything heal up, and then we walk outside the gym. He's like, yeah, look. So Mike just told me, he said, Cody Crowley, Mike Burrell is my advisor, but he said Cody
Okay.
Crowley, he said he just tested positive. Um, and he's working to get you in the car, just so you know before you decide to, pack up on sparring and everything.
Mhm.
So once he said that, I immediately I automatically like I got a brand new body for real, for real. Wasn't sore no more than that. So we
Yeah.
sparring today. I'm gonna do today and tomorrow, and then I had been, like I said, I had been sparring so much. I was getting ready for conventional guys and southpaw, so I was sparred Trayvon Marshall, George Rincon. Um, they had another guy from Texas. His name was Anthony Rodriguez. I was sparring with him. I did some sparring at Headbangers. I sparred Eric Walker. He was
Okay.
getting ready for Ivan Golub. I sparred Eric Walker at Headbangers. Um, so I was getting plenty different styles. Just like I said, plenty of work. So I wasn't too worried about I wasn't too worried about my history because like I'm in there sparring with like majority of you guys are like seasoned pros.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, then we get the fight. The week of the fight, we get the contract. Or no, I'm sorry. Like that, like Thursday evening, got the contract, signed it, sent it back. And then the following Wednesday, we headed out to Minnesota,
Gotcha.
going for our first world title.
Got you. Okay. So, all right. So that's how you got on the card. And again, the one thing that a lot of the boxing public don't know, and especially I like to talk about the casuals too, because really the goal is to get your name out to where people that love boxing is going to know you, and people that don't going to know you. One thing, there was really a big misnomer is that all fighters know who they're fighting, and all fighters are able to have 8-week camps. I think that's something that a lot of people take for granted. So what was it like? How was it like for you knowing that literally that card was an all welterweight card? There were 3 different matches on there. So you are in camp preparing for literally 6 different guys. Like what's the mindset when you kind of can't finger a person as your opponent? Like how do you stay focused and prepared for that?
I mean, what you do is like you think about like when we used to fight and when I used to fight as an amateur, when we used to fight amateurs and we fought even in the tournaments or whatever. you didn't really know who you might fight the next day. You know, you might fight 4 days in a row, 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
You don't know exactly who you're gonna fight each day. So you just the thing is, honestly, for me, not I didn't have a set opponent, but it didn't for me. I was cool with that because I didn't have to worry about any best laid plans. My main focus was making sure I was as sharp as I could be. You know what I mean? Sharp as I could be. You know what I'm saying? Working hard. Like I'm just like the arsenal I have. I'm just I'm just cleaning. I'm just polishing all that up. And we getting ready to go to work. So it wasn't for me. It was like one of the easier camps. Like it was one
Okay.
of the easier camps, and mentally just because we don't have to prepare for anything. It's not like what if he hits you with that. It's just like just get out of the way of that. Make sure. All right. So if you try to learn that, make sure you ain't susceptible to it. We're gonna roll this way, counter like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting my tools in the I'm just putting my tools in the bag, just having them ready, and not really trying to counteract something that somebody else is doing now. Like even with fights, even in past fights where I knew who I had, we would work. You know what I'm saying? Towards beating them, but we wouldn't do that. I mean, I don't think any fighter should. Don't sacrifice what you do well because they're getting ready for you the same way you're getting ready for them. I see a lot of times in boxing
Hmm.
and in like MMA, you see a guy he's preparing totally for this guy. So what if your opponent pulls out of the fight and now you have to on a couple days or maybe a couple weeks notice you got to switch everything up. You were preparing for a guy that applies a lot of pressure. Now you got a boxer. If you prepare specifically for one person or if you specifically for one style, something like that happens, and
Exactly.
you didn't want, then you gonna be the one like, nah, man, I was getting ready for this dude. Nah, I'm not fighting him, and then the whole card gets canceled. So
Exactly.
my whole thing is just to stay ready.
And exactly. And I think, and now, and it's funny because, like I said, sir, everything happened for a reason. And I believe it was a reason that happened like that because let's just say you was fighting that guy from the beginning. Either way, it was not that much footage on him anyway. He was only like 3-0, 4-0, and his opponents was nowhere near your class anyway. So we didn't have much to go off anyway. I'm a guy that like to watch tape a lot.
Yeah,
So he didn't have that much tape on him anyway. So really, so now moving past that, obviously we already know what happened in the fight. You won 11 of the 12 if you're being generous of the rounds. To him, you maybe give him one round if you want to, maybe the first or the second, what people like to say. So that happens. The fight goes on how it goes on. The results get announced. What are you thinking to me? Like immediately when they say his name, like what's going on in your head? Like obviously on TV we could see the shock in your face, but what's going on in your head? Like looking around at the crowd and seeing the people and having this news dropped on you like that.
yeah. I mean, I was like dumbfounded for real. Like I heard them say it now. I heard them saying still undefeated. As soon as he said that, because I knew what my record was.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear him say Gabriel Maestre, and I'm stuck. Basically, I just did it. I was waiting on Jimmy Lennon Jr. To say he made a mistake and say
Yeah.
he pulled a Steve Harvey. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so when he didn't, I'm like, hold up, this is like really really happening. They really took this jump from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I like when I heard the scores. Like the thing is, the fight I fought, I knew there was no way he won. I heard the scores. The first score was really close. That's why I made a face like, "Are y'all serious?" But then each score after that became wider, and in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, I'm like, "It's no way he won more than about two, at the most 3 rounds." You know what I mean? That's the most I really saw him win. So so in my mind, I'm just like. I mean, I'm just like I said, utterly
Yeah.
confused. Utterly confused. But I hear everybody booing, so I know I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I see and then like after I got out of the ring, went to the locker room, showered up and everything. We still in the venue. They sent somebody to come find me. Said, "Man, Lennox Lewis wants to talk to you." Went down to the green room or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I turned the corner. As soon as I turned the corner, Lennox broke mid sentence. He's like, yeah. He see me. He like, bro, you won that fight, man. Don't let
Yeah.
nobody tell you anything other than that. Then Joe Goosen comes over. He's telling me all the, He actually told me this story about a WBA fight, a fighter he had that was fighting for the WBA. I forgot his name. He said his fighter put him down, I think, 3 times and lost the point, and they still took the fight from him because the dude, I think he said the dude he fought was Venezuelan or something like that.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
yeah. So it was a crazy. It was, I mean, it was like I said. So it was it was a crazy night. But I mean, I got to meet Joe Goosen for a second time. Got to meet Lennox Lewis again, and then well, no, I think that was the first. That was the first time I met Lennox Lewis in person. So I mean, and then the followers and things went up, and I got a little buzz around my name now.
Yeah. So all right. After that, the fight happens. Clearly, social media is in the uproar. I mean, honestly, not just social media. You got boxing media is in the uproar. Social media is in the uproar. Then these tweets come out, right? So you got a judge, a WBA judge that officiated your fight with racist tweets. Judge Gloria Rizzo. I don't even remember her name, but
Gloria Martinez Rizzo.
Gloria, never. We ain't gonna forget that no more. But Gloria Martinez Rizzo, she had some very hurtful things to say about Black people and things of that. So my question once we found that part out, did the WBA ever reach out to you and apologize? I mean, did they reach out to you at all following that?
Yeah, I talked to Gilberto Mendoza. He apologized on behalf of the WBA. He let me know that she was being suspended, and he told me a story. Like well, not a story. I mean, he's telling me like I don't appreciate what at this time. He's like, I don't appreciate what she said. I have a daughter who is well. I won't divulge all his personal information. But he said, I have a daughter, and if there was any prejudice against her, I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah.
We'll leave it. I'll leave it there. But what I mean. But this the thing here is, she got suspended indefinitely, and then now she popped back on the scene when Danny Dubois and Trevor Bryan fought. She was one of the judges then. I knew she was going to be back. I knew they were waiting for some stuff to die down. They deleted her Twitter and everything. I still got the screenshots of the stuff she said about LeBron James and Michelle Obama. Stuff like that. I still have that stuff on my phone. And like, so as soon as I found out she was back judging, like I knew she was. I kept an eye on her. I knew she was judging like the smaller cards in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But then when she judged that championship, I was like, yeah, so she gets to get back to the championship level, and I haven't even gotten back in the ring yet. So
for sure,
that's not going. I'm not going to just sit idly by and just let them just get carried quietly.
Yeah,
and that's when I posted them jumps.
Yeah. Again. So now, I think one thing that got overshadowed in that fight that a lot of people didn't realize is that fight was for the interim championship, the interim WBA belt. And I think a lot of people that kind of went over, I mean, obviously because of the results of the fight, that went over a lot of people's heads that fight was for the WBA interim championship. Did you have to pay sanctioning fees for that fight?
Yes, I did. I paid $1,500 in sanctioning fees. I actually still got the little thing. I still had. So for belts, you have to pay. I mean, to fight for a world title, you have to pay a sanction fee. They did take a percentage of your check. The amount that you pay is based on a percentage, and then they take that percentage out of your belt.
Yeah.
I mean, out of your check, along with any medical fees and things like that, you got to pay.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate that you will have to pay for something like that to happen to in your career. But I mean, I guess on the broader side, I mean, how did it feel from maybe going from maybe like the middle of a pack welterweight where some people know you to some people don't know you to now overnight, even after a loss, everybody knows who you are. Like, how was that experience?
That experience was crazy. So when I left as I was leaving the ring, I mean, anybody that watched ball, you saw me shaking a lot of hands and everything. Mm-hmm. I get back to my to the locker room. I'm sitting down for a second, just digesting what happened. Like, I'm sitting in a chair, my father's sitting over this way, my brother's sitting over this way, and we just all like, what the hell happened? Yep. You know what I mean? And then once after a while, my father went live real quick just to talk to people on his phone. We were talking to people, everybody giving their reactions, bullshit, BS. Excuse my language.
Yeah,
yeah, BS and everything. My certificate digital coach said, man, he almost punched. So I almost punched my TV. Like I almost punched a hole in it. He said, "My man, Greg Outlaw, you know him. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he said, man, he said I was filming. He said I was watching it on one phone, filming like to get the filming me about to get the win the second phone. He said as soon as they raised the other dude, he said, man, I threw my phone across the room. Somebody, he says I was over there with somebody like, man, what's wrong with you? He said, bro, they just robbed the shit. He said he texting Lamont Roach and everything.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. But the thing is, so as far as becoming like the followers of overnight, I got out of the shower. I look at my phone. I got about 100 notifications
Mm.
on Instagram, mentions and everything. Robbery, 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 robbery. I get Twitter. I got about 200 notifications
Mm-hmm.
on, and then Facebook. Facebook is normally I'm on Facebook, but most of that's people I know personally.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
my base, all the socials are blowing up with
Mm-hmm.
notifications, especially like Instagram. But Instagram, Twitter, and then what was good for me is I seen everybody saw what they saw. It was good that what I liked about it is that I saw people that are fans that that are probably aren't that heavily invested in boxing or that deep
Yeah.
into boxing. They
Uh-huh.
watched it like a robbery. That was robbery. A bunch just up and down the timeline because
Exactly.
my Twitter timeline is all boxing mainly.
Mm-hmm.
And then even it was also good to see some of my peers also saying like Tony Harris, like, man, how y'all
Yeah.
robbed that dude like that? Marcus Brown messaged me. He's like, man, that shit was terrible. Um, 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 Dennis Doolin, Mama's boy, he said something. Fighters I've never met personally. He said,
Yeah.
"Yo, you were robbed." Like even after Earl Spence's had the issue with his eye, I actually messaged him. I didn't think he'd see it. I just took a picture. I said, "Man, speedy recovery, champ." He actually responded. He said, "Yo, I watched that fight. You was robbed point blank. You won that fight clear as day." So we got guys that have been to the world championship level telling me
Yeah.
that I won that fight. It just reassured me, let
Mm-hmm.
me know that I'm not crazy. You
Yeah,
know what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
I'm not crazy.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? Then you know, then the followers went up. The
Yeah.
followers went up and still going up. I'm at about like okay, so Instagram I had like 5,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost at 8,000 now.
Yeah.
I went up like immediately in like 24 hours. I went up about 1,500 followers. So
Uh-huh.
right after the fight, I went up about
Mhm.
1,500 followers. Twitter, I had about 1,500 followers. I'm at like 3,000 followers now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely doubled up. So really, I mean, and obviously immediately, not immediately after that, but now you in a position where you gaining traction, especially off of a loss that really was supposed to be a win, and many of the fans expected to see you back way faster. So can you talk to us about maybe why we now, I guess after a 14-month layoff, I know we've seen you, but what was maybe contributed to us not seeing you in the ring a little earlier?
Well, I mean, for Zaz, there was some stuff out of my control, like completely out of my control. Like I know, PBC are like they're probably going to be like I know they're I don't know. I think their contract with Fox is ending. I don't know if they're going to renew and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They got like a lot of fighters they got to get
Yeah.
fights for throughout this year and everything. And then that's out of my control. But it wasn't for lack of PBC trying. Like so after August, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I got a call for a fight in October. Um, they tried to make it work again for more money and everything. Actually tried to get. They actually called me about fighting Stayonis again.
Okay.
So I said yes again, and they were paying a lot of money. So I'm like, hell yeah. Um, that I think Stayonis ended up signing with Probellum or something like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that broke the negotiations and everything. They like, man, get in the gym, stay in the gym. But as October rolls around, I heard, they asked me at the end of September, October to start rolling around. Like second week of October, they said it's probably gonna be a no go. So PBC wasn't trying to leave me out of the ring. Um, and then I and then April rolls around, the Spence Ugas fight.
yeah,
By this time, yeah, well, by this time I had been on Twitter and stuff. So shout out to Chicken Talk,
yeah,
But
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, I had met all those guys and everything. But um, April rolls around, Spence Crawford fight. They after the Ukraine and Russia incident conflict started,
Mhm.
they were I think they were worried that Buteyev was probably out of the states right now,
Yeah.
and they probably thought he was back home in Russia. So they were once again they were about to have me step in. I was gonna have like 5 weeks, which is cool. And they said, and they were gonna try to they were trying to make the match but stay on us again. Like this time, I understand. I mean, and this time they said no, but I mean, from their point of view, from their perspective, like Stallione's team and everything, they were about to, Stallione's ended up fighting and winning for a world title. If we had fought, it would have been an eliminator, which would have been good for me.
Yeah.
But you know, if I'm Stallione's, I'm like, dude, I'm just about to fight for a world title. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting any more eliminators.
Yeah.
Which to be fair, that made sense on his part. That was his. I couldn't even really be mad at that. Of course, I wanted to be in the ring. I wanted to come down and fight in Texas. That would have been a hell of a card to be on. I remember the first time I ever fought in Texas, but it's just business. It's just how the business of the sport goes. Um, I you know I had been getting turned down before, but I knew after that fight, at least I knew they wouldn't call me on like no off like 2 weeks, two a week
Yeah.
and a half
Yeah.
notice. Most people were like, I saw now. At least now they say I saw that kid fight. We're not fighting. We're not just up and fighting him. We want to camp for him. So
Exactly.
now so this time, fight going up against Mean Machine, I have a camp, so it helps me too.
Yeah. So now talking about that, that is the good news. Obviously, we got Igis Kavalaskis, aka to me he ain't the Mean Machine, but we got
Yeah.
Igis Kavalaskis, right? So that's coming up October 8th. You're going to be on the Fondora Ocampo undercard. So how did that fight come available for you?
Well, so it was about like we had actually been working on the fight since August. My advisor Mike Burrell calls me. He's like, he says, yeah, I'm working. He's actually said I'm working on getting you on the October 15th card, on the undercard. He said, I said that's Wilder Hellenius, right? He said, yeah. I was able to get them on the card. Yeah, he said I'm gonna have, like he also works with Hellenius, so he's like I'm gonna get Hellenius in the fight, and then I'm see if I can get you on the card.
Okay.
So they were about to have us on October 15th, me and Mean Machine. We ended up getting moved off the card. They moved us to October 8th.
Mm-hmm.
October 8th, California, Fondora, Ocampo undercard. So we've been working on it since August. I got a contract 2 weeks ago, signed. We ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So since you got that news, have you been doing anything different in training wise, as far as sparring differently, maybe doing different drills, working on some different type of strength and conditioning, or is it just business as usual? We just keeping yourself sharp?
Well, for the time I didn't have anything on the calendar,
Mm-hmm.
we were down for my strength and conditioning. We were lifting kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Now we're moving to the more conditioning part, endurance and everything, making sure the arms and the legs, making sure the body can last 10 rounds. You know what I mean? So we cut back on the weightlifting. We're moving into endurance and conditioning. And shout out to my strength and conditioner, D'Angelo Kennard, Advanced Sports Performance. Like he understands. He actually used to fight in combat sports, so he understands how the muscles need to work for the sport. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Hey, shout out to him too. I follow him on Instagram. I see him also working with Alontes Fox. I see him working with Greg Outlaw. I see him working with Lamont Roach Jr. I see him working with a couple people in there. So shout out to him. He's definitely doing his thing and he's yielding results. So definitely shout out to him.
Yeah, most definitely.
What's now talking more about Kavalaskis, obviously you're going to look at tape, and it's good tape on him. So what's some of the things do you think that he does decent, or things that he does well?
One of the biggest things I saw, he works behind his jab or started, but one of the biggest things I saw, like not everybody, but two of the when he fought the guy Mykal Zuski? Is that how you said?
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah. He has a good counter uppercut. He's good at counter. Like if you lean in too far, he do that counter right uppercut. If you watch the fight with Virgil Ortiz, that's what he hurt him with too. Yeah, he hurt Virgil Ortiz with the same punch. So that's kind of stuff I'm looking at. And he leads a lot behind the jab. as you're supposed to. But our Jazz will be on the same side, so we'll be battling for that position a little bit. I'm expecting that, but I also watched him when he fought Ray Robinson. I feel like the a little bit of lateral movement that's gonna throw him off. That's gonna throw him off some.
Yeah.
At least he won't be able to plant his feet. But I plan to I watched the Ray Robinson fight. I plan to implement some of that, but be more have a more effective offense. But I've been training like this last week. I did 20 rounds with Jaleel Hackett. Shout out to Jaleel Hackett. He's a TMT prospect.
Sir.
He's bringing a good amount of pressure. He's smart with his offense. He's not just running and throwing anything. He's smart with his offense. He knows how to pick his shots. I feel like Kaviasis knows how to pick his moments too. So that's why I've been working a lot with him. We're probably gonna get some rounds in with Trayvon Marshall too. Trayvon Marshall has a great jab. He's taller, but we want to be able we want to go up against a few different styles and get the best to get the best look, get the best possible look.
Okay, so now both of y'all in this fight, because oddly enough, his fight with Virgil Ortiz was the next weekend after the fight that you had with Maestre. So essentially, both of y'all lined up together. Y'all both coming off about a 14-month layoff. So what do you think a win over Igis Kavalauskas could do for your career?
Well, I think Igis as a excuse me, as another former Olympian. He has a lot of amateur back. He has a great amateur background. He's been in with, Terrence Crawford, who's current champion, and Virgil Ortiz, who they think is up next. So I think a win against him puts me back. I mean, I'm already in the rankings. My hope is that, puts me higher in the rankings, number one, and maybe put me in the rankings with another sanctioning body. I think it's a win over him is a very legit win. Still at this point, if only Virgil and Crawford, if only Virgil and Bud have been able to beat you, and I can get a W over him. That lets people know I belong here. My goal this fight really is to show everybody that August 7th, 2021, that's not a one night only type of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you got rappers that are one hit wonders.
Yeah,
I'm trying to show catalog now.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then and like I said, and I think that's really for the casuals, most of the hardcore boxers that seeing you fights like the Ergashev fight, which for a lot say that was a 50-50 fight, could have went either way. That was a great fight. I personally gave you the Santa Maria fight. But another very close fight. We see Santa Maria performing well as well. So I think for a lot of us that know you, we know that wasn't a one-hit wonder. But for a lot of the fans that you gained that haven't been familiar with you, that haven't been watching you fight as you were fighting and not have to see you on a replay, I think that definitely will help a lot for those fans. So my next segment that I want to get into is something I call the ring walk. It's a little off topic. It's not necessarily boxing related, just a couple questions. So we're going to get into these and get away from a little bit of boxing. So now my first question is, who gave you the name Professor, and what was you doing for them to name you that?
Oh, I mean, my father and Coach Troy Fox, he gave me the name just because it wasn't nothing necessarily I was doing. It's just, if you see me you see me walking down the street, you see the glasses, you see the stature, you're like, yeah, that dude don't box. Like, I was when I was buying the last car I bought, I was at the dealership. I was like, my father asked, man, what you do for a living? Guy looks at me, he's like, was he in IT or something? He's like, nah, he's a professional boxer. And then he shows him a video. He actually shows him a clip of the Ergashev. He's like, oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then another time, I remember when I was young when I was like 4-0. So I was like 19. I didn't even have this little bit of facial hair. So I was at an amateur MMA event, you know what I mean? Because at the time we were working at an MMA school. We so the announcer was like, "There any professional athletes in the in the building just to support. He wrote all our names down, man. So yeah, this is Mykal Fox Pro Boxer. He wrote all our names down and everything. He called us to the ring. When he called us to the cage. When he called me to the cage, I'm walking out, right? I could hear a dude. I don't even think he thought he was that loud. Like, that dude a pro fighter? You know what I'm saying? So they see the glass and everything, and they like, nah, it can't be. But you know, once the glass come off, I go to work. You know how I go.
No, I know. You know, I've seen you working, so you already know, bro. Okay. So, have you ever had any jobs outside of boxing? I know you started young, but have you ever had any physical jobs like outside of just fighting?
Not really. The only jobs that I've had that are they're all box related. Like a couple, like I said, I worked at a couple like MMA schools and fitness gyms or whatever, and you know, I taught boxing classes. You know, especially like people took to me just because like I would show, you know, it was like the first place I worked at, I was young, so they just followed behind. So I kind of followed behind my dad. Then I eventually got a little older, took over the classes myself, and then I went to then when I moved to another gym, and I was able to, I had a little more free reign. I just was showing them, I just would like they had like a list of stuff they supposed to know. I look at the paper, like, I can do all this, but like but then eventually once I got into a little bit of a groove and I got familiar with people, you know, I started teaching them like practical, you know what I'm saying, practical stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's different from like there were classes, so it was a little more structured. But I would start teaching them like practical moves and things like that they, you know, they could. I tell them, man, y'all can take this wherever y'all go. Like this is like real stuff that I really do or I've seen done. I know the stuff works, and they like that. So, you know, I've always any job I've had has always kind of been around boxing.
Gotcha, for sure. So, if money is no object, what kind of car will be in your driveway?
Object. There's a lot of nice cars out here too, man. Off the top of my head, I always like them the BMW i8s. You know, them they just look real slick. Like I actually saw one in white. That don't look smooth. And I saw one in black. That don't look like a Batmobile. That don't was great.
Yeah, nah, them i8s is fire. All right, so when you training or you getting ready for a fight, what's some of the music that you listen to turn you up? Whether you trying to just push through in training or whether you just getting started training and you need that pick me up. What we listen to?
Most of it's all hip hop. It's all rap music, but mainly it's well, ain't no mainly to it. The stuff I listen to is kind of broad. I got as far back as like you know, Scarface, Snoop Dogg, Jay Z, J Cole, Pusha T, Drake, a little bit of Drake in there, some Big Sean. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Like, you know, I like growing up, I listened, you know, riding around the car with my father, you know, we listened to a lot of Scarface, a lot of Snoop Dogg, a lot of Ice Cube too. So, you know, that's where my throwback music ear for music comes. And then, you know, the more recent stuff, like my favorite rapper currently is J Cole. I listen to a lot of his music. I listen to a lot of his music throughout the day, and then all the song, anything that basically anything that's really upbeat. So it gets the energy flowing, especially when I'm running. Like I might skip a song or two. Like if the song's too slow, even if it's already if it's too slow, I skip it. Something that's going to get my heart rate going and keep me motivated, keep me running.
For sure. Okay. Next question, man. If you had to strip your closet down to only 3 brands, what would those 3 brands be?
That was a tough one. If I look at my closet now, I gotta keep some Boss. I like Hugo Boss. I keep Boss, man. It's a little expensive. I don't buy it all the time, but if I got a little money, I buy some of that. I like Lux T. They make good T-shirts. I gotta have good T-shirts. And then that's 2, and then I guess Polo or something like that.
Okay, you get rid of all of them. I know you got some Nikes, bro. You gonna get rid of the Nikes?
Oh no! Oh, you mean like, bro? Oh no! I gotta keep my shoes. Nah, I need all my shoes. So Nike, yeah, I got plenty of shoes now. I thought we were talking about straight up clothes. Nah,
okay.
So if you take one away, then if you can take probably Polo away. I'll keep Nike because I like my shoes.
Nah, for sure. All right, so you had a fight. Well, not have a fight. We ain't fight yet. We just weighed in. What do we eat?
After I drink all like my fluids and stuff, probably go to I'm going anywhere that got rice, anywhere that got like good rice. I like Japanese food, Mexican food, anything that got rice. Cause like the thing is, I'm telling you right now, if like when I'm in camp heavy and we real strict on the diet, I be missing that rice, bro. And I don't be because I don't realize how much of it I eat until I'm like, man, I could really go for some rice, man.
Yeah, I got you. So what about after the fight? I mean, after the fight, you just won a fight. What's like, hey, I gotta go get this meal. Like we just won. I gotta have this.
My stomach tends to be too small for it, but I love steak. I'm a big steak eater. I love steak.
Yeah. I'll be trying to stay away, man. But nah, a good steak, you can't never go wrong with that.
Yeah,
okay. Next question. Are you single?
Man.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? Let's just say you are or you aren't single, right? Give me your top 3 qualities in a woman.
Top 3 qualities in a woman. She has to be smart.
Okay.
She gotta be smart. I mean, let me put this up and say that I don't want to make it seem I like if you ain't right in the head, man or woman, bro, stay away from me.
Yeah.
So, but I ain't trying to get canceled out here. But she gotta be smart. She gotta she gotta be smart. She has to be able to she has to be able to have be independent.
Okay.
I want you to want me, not need me type of thing. And then she have a pleasant voice. Like
okay.
I like girls I got a pleasant voice that you'll listen to for a long time. Like, you'll listen to them talk, or if they read something, or even if they're humming around the house or something. I like that.
All right, cool. Okay. All right. Well, listen, whether you single or not, at least the ladies know what to do if they want to get in contact with Fox. At least that one lady that he might have know what to do to keep Fox. Like, let me go say it like that. All right. So the last question that we got, man, before we get wrap this up, what is something that you want the world to know about Mykal Fox?
Mykal Fox can fight. Mykal Fox can really fight. Like that's all. I mean, that's really all it is. Like my entire like a lot of my personality is kind of based around and because of boxing. Like any good qualities that people like about me, even if when I meet girls and I meet their family, you know what I'm saying, I'm pretty well liked. Like after me, like if they start messing with a dude after me, if we don't work out, something they start messing with a dude after me, they're gonna remember, hey, I used to like that kid Mike. You know what I mean? Yeah. But sports taught me discipline. It's taught me how to take care of my body. Taught me how to I learned how to cook because I like food, but like knowing how to cook helps me helps me just throughout life. I don't so I don't have to eat fast food and stuff all the time. Yeah. But like boxing is my thing. That's all I really need people to know. Boxing is my thing. If you ever, I tell people, if you ever looking for me, check your TV guide. If you see boxing on, I'm somewhere in front of a TV. You'll find me.
Yeah, no, man, that's what's up, man. Hey, listen, Mike Fox, man, we appreciate you, man, as always, man. Good luck October 8th against Igis Kavalauskas on the Fondora Ocampo undercard. Hopefully, if the stars align, I'll be there supporting in full effect, man. But hey, I thank you for your time. I do appreciate it, champ.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, man. I like real talk. Like since I met you, you've been a solid stand-up dude, man. I appreciate that.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
My man.
All right.